Do you know what today is? It's not our anniversary. Just another day with you and me.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I was happy when you didn't sing that on our anniversary, but here you go.
Hey y'all, welcome back. It's Tara and Ryan with Tara Talks and Ryan Listens.
I'm sleepy.
Yeah, we should just change the name of the show to Tara Annoys Ryan while he's sleepy.
Yeah, like I fell asleep. I didn't even know I fell asleep. And then Sarah was like, "Are you ready?" I was like, I didn't even know I fell asleep. So, yeah.
That's when you know you napping hard, when you fall asleep and you didn't even know
I
you were
had
falling
no
asleep.
idea. I woke up, I
It
didn't
was a
know.
good nap.
I didn't know who I was.
I was just like, let me finish this one episode of One Tree Hill and then we can record. And you was out of there.
Man. Like, I legit did not know who I was. I was like, wait, am I a person? That's how good the nap was.
That's why I was not going to disturb you. Do not disturb.
Just happened to wake up and I was like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to go record this show with that woman that also lives here.
That person in the house.
Yeah. I'm married, so.
You are married. That's what the rings say.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of us being married, y'all know we're married millennials, and we actually have been together officially now as of a few weeks ago. 8 years.
We old, fam.
How does it feel?
Feel like we old, fam.
It's really crazy to me. I mean, I know like every year I have this same feeling, but I think it hit a little different this year because this was our first dating anniversary that we celebrated while we were married. And so I was just like, dang, we really just been together for 8 years and not 8 years off and on.
Nah, it was like straight through.
Straight through. That's something. I will say. That's the longest I've ever been with anybody.
Yeah, like a year and a month into this was the longest I'd ever been with anybody. So that particular novelty's worn off. But yeah, 8 years is an accomplishment.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
How many months we've been married though?
Oh man, your mom would know because she always knows.
We count October, November, December, January, February.
5 months?
5 months.
Is it really 5 months?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So 5 months married, 8 years together. Yeah, they say the first 5 months are the hardest. So the cool thing is when we celebrate our 6-month anniversary, that'll be right around the time where we should have gotten married had it not been for COVID. Married. Yeah, it'll be right around there.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah. So yeah, we didn't do much to celebrate our anniversary. We
low key forgot.
We almost forgot. But we ordered some takeout as usual, but slightly nicer takeout, and sipped a little Black Girl Magic. The Black Girl Magic. What is it called? Sparkling Brut.
Oh yeah, we had the sparkling.
Had a little champagne, and we used our wedding flutes, champagne flutes from our wedding.
Custom joints with our names
with
on
the
them.
wrong date on there, the COVID date.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's also our dating anniversary is also the anniversary of when you proposed. So that's kind of cool. I like that you did that. One less day to remember.
You know, I didn't even think about it like that, but that's smart on my part.
It was nice. It was nice.
Because dudes be out here forgetting the anniversary. I can't. We have a bunch of dates that I have to remember, but they're all easy. So yeah, touche for me.
Good job. So we got a lot of snow a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, it was like mad snow, son.
It was. And
I felt like I was in New York.
The thing is, yeah, snow is always tough because you want enough snow for stuff to be canceled. But then now, because of COVID, stuff is not really canceled. You're just doing it remote again. And
I'm fine with that. It means I ain't gotta get out in the snow either way.
Yeah, I was happy to work from home rather than going back into the office. So that part was nice. It was tough because my family, they were without power, and a lot of my friends or without power and water and other necessities. But the best part about the snow, and this may seem weird, but I enjoyed it because my grandmother's water went out, her pipes froze, and so she ended up having to stay with us.
It took you a really long time to say.
That's because something's caught in my throat.
Okay, just stop talking for a second, work that out, and then I'll resume. Because I'm like I gotta cut out space between words because sometimes you should be like talking really, really slow. And I really was like, hoping you remembered what
Give me a sip of your water.
Why you didn't bring no water up here?
Because I was like, I don't need water, and then I choke to death, of course.
See, that's what you get for waking me up out of my nap. That's what you get. Choking. No, it wasn't even you that woke me up. I think I had the Cleveland show on too loud. Like, I don't even like the Cleveland show like that. I've just seen every episode of Family Guy twice. At least twice, a minimum of twice. That's all I do. I don't really watch TV. I just put Family Guy on in the background. So I've seen literally every episode more than once. Like, even the latest ones that just came out. The one that came out yesterday, I've seen it twice. I'm so serious. So I'm kind of tired of it right now because that's all I've been watching the last year since we've been home. And I was like, you know what? Let me just try the Cleveland show again because it was terrible. It's terrible. The Cleveland show is terrible. It's not as bad as American Dad. I will say that. American Dad is absolute garbage. But the Cleveland show is not half bad, but it is. But it also is half bad because, if something's not half bad, then it's also half bad. If it's not whole good, right? Let me check on my wife and see if she's like alive again because I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Point is, Cleveland show woke me up and here we are. But she still should have brought water up here because can you hear my water bag, please, though?
Oh, I thought you wanted me to keep it in case it came back.
Well, I wanted you to not choke and die, but just let me have some because I want some right now. I brought water up here because I knew I would want water.
Wow. All right.
You, on the other hand,
I brought adult juice. So, like I was saying, my grandmother ended up staying with us, which was super dope because we haven't really got to spend that much time with her due to the pandemic. We basically just been like talking on the phone or talking through the screen door or yelling from the yard or dropping off groceries. Yeah, yelling from the driveway, things like that. But
like, I'll go leave groceries on the doorstep and then get back in the car and call her and tell her I did it. Right.
But she ended up having to stay with us just to make sure she was safe and warm and had water and all those things. And so, of course, we wore a mask and, we were super safe. But it was really nice just to watch Bonanza and Gunsmoke and Golden Girls. And
so you saying she old?
I am.
I'm going to tell her you said it.
She knows she old. We had fun. We had fun. She made greens.
Man, she made them greens was so fire, bro.
Yeah. I was like, man, come back over anytime. Don't have to be another snowstorm. Just come over and come kick it and watch TV and cook.
Yeah, we don't need a truck to come get her if it's not a snowstorm, so we can just go get her.
Yeah. I really only brought that up to say, I know this pandemic has been hard on all of us because we've been away from our loved ones, but when things open back up, don't get busy with your schedule filling back up and forget to spend some time with your loved ones.
Yeah, you need to spend time with your loved ones either way because you never know how much time there is.
Accurate.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, you think you got a bunch of years. It's not always the case.
Accurate. Because being with my one grandmother made me miss my other grandmother, made me miss your grandmother, my dad. It snowballs. Yeah,
like, everybody who knows my grandmother would have literally put millions of dollars on the fact that she was going to be 104 when she died.
Right.
It didn't happen. We were all shocked.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
All right, folks, let's hop into my timeline. What's going on?
My timeline included me falling asleep, so you got this.
So, of course, coronavirus and the vaccine, we got vaccinated.
Yeah, we did.
And we got vaccinated at the exact same time. Literally sitting across from each other in a crowded room.
We went at the same time and walked in, and we're both sitting in the chair at the exact same time, and we were just looking
romantic.
at each other like, oh, we're getting vaccinated.
Yeah. So yeah, we're still wearing masks.
I'm still gonna be wearing masks. I don't care what whoever governor says. Because here's my thing. If I need to have work done on my car's engine, I'm not gonna take it to a donut shop.
No, you're not.
That's literally what y'all are saying. But all of a sudden, y'all listening to the governor. Y'all ain't never listened to the governor before. And he say take the mask off because he's not a scientist and he thinks it's okay.
I'm gonna listen to the CDC.
Y'all listening. I'm gonna listen to the people with medical degrees and science degrees that literally knew what the coronavirus was before it became a pandemic. I'm gonna listen to them. Because well over 500,000 people have died from it.
The crazy thing
and y'all act like it's nothing, so yeah.
The crazy thing is the governor, and when I say the governor, I'm talking about Greg Abbott in Texas and everybody else.
Better get the water.
Sorry, I'm really about to die. They never said, stop wearing your mask. It's safe now. The coronavirus is no longer a thing. They said we're removing the mandate and the business can decide for themselves.
And ultimately what that means is become survival of the smartest. Because if you're not smart enough to, like try to keep everybody safe, then good luck. That's what he said ultimately.
Yeah, basically, they just trying to open up the economy again and get back to businesses and all of that. And I feel for businesses. I'm supporting small businesses, but it's gonna be curbside for me for a minute, and I'm gonna still wear my mask, and we're gonna go on from there.
I'm gonna be wearing this mask like 5 years from now.
No, seriously, our kids are gonna be like, "Why are you wearing a mask, mommy?" You don't understand. You weren't there.
By then there'll be plenty of documents. Yeah, my kids gonna be like in middle school before I finally. It's probably just gonna be a thing. I'm probably just gonna wear masks when I feel like it for the rest of forever.
We have so many masks. I mean,
as much as I've invested in personal protection equipment, I'm probably just gonna keep wearing them because we messed around and started getting the ones that look nice with our outfits too. So yeah, I'm just gonna be wearing masks.
So yeah, just keep washing your hands and wearing masks, and
half y'all MFers wasn't washing y'all hands in the first place with your nasty asses. Like I can't believe how many adults need to be told to wash their hands. What's wrong with y'all?
So
I'm leaving that in there too. I'm not taking that out. Say what I said.
So, I'm trying to debate on whether or not I even want to talk about Ted Cruz going to Mexico. I know it's been said before.
Hey, just read that meme because that meme was funny.
What meme?
How Ted Cruz continues to break barriers by being the first Hispanic to flee from Texas to Mexico because of ICE.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah, that's all you really need to say.
Yeah. I just want to say people try to hate on AOC, but she is not the rep for Texas, and she was in Texas helping people out just because
she the truth.
That's what public servants do.
She need to run for president.
So, yeah.
She has some time before she can, I think. She young, right? She's like 31, 2, 3.
Oh, I don't even
Something
know.
like that.
Something
and you
like
got to
that.
be 35, so yeah, take your time. But yeah, AOC for president.
So the Senate passed that STEMI.
About damn time.
Direct deposit coming soon.
Took y'all so long.
So the thing is, there's a big debate about what people should spend it on. And there's a lot of people saying, like, if you don't need it, then you should donate it or save it or something. What do you think?
Here's my thing. I don't think people should tell people how to spend their money. Like, I'm trying to personally break away from that because people tell poor people how to spend their money. But then you tell rich people how to spend their money and they're like, you don't have as much money as me, so you don't know what it's like. But then you tell a poor person how to spend their money, it's just like, you have way more money than me, so you don't have to think about the things that I have to think about. Really forgot where I was going with that, but the word stimulus means to stimulate the economy. So you should generally spend it on local stuff. Help the people that's in your neighborhood, keep their lights on. I guess that's really what that's supposed to be for. But people finna go out and buy dumb stuff, and I'm not here to judge anybody because I'm not gonna say I made the smartest decisions with mine. But you know, I don't. So I guess I don't really have an opinion. Is ultimately what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I was kind of leaning more kind of what you were saying. Like, why are we telling people what to do with it? If people need it to pay their bills, they should use it to pay their bills. If people need it for groceries, they should use it for groceries. If people don't quote unquote need it to pay their bills, then they should spend it however they want to spend it. Like, at the end of the day,
it's to stimulate the economy. You can't
tell people what to do with it. That's really up to you.
Right. So if you don't need it,
if you want to save it or donate it, again, that's
totally
your
thing. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm just tired of hearing people swearing they know everything and don't know anything. I'm specifically talking about the Republicans who only look at things from one perspective. And instead of trying to reach across the aisle to understand, that whole seek first to understand, then to be understood, they don't get that. So, yeah, I think the world would be a better place if we all put that into practice. But, I mean, hey, this is America. Everybody's right and everybody's wrong all the time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Well.
America.
Oh, goodness. The mean potatoes are what I want to talk about tonight.
Go for it. You got it. So here's the thing. I didn't watch the whole interview. I watched parts of it and listened to other parts of it. This is her thing. So this is where Tara talks and Ryan tries to stay awake. Not because this is a boring topic, because I'm really sleepy. Like, my eyes are closed right now. I'm sitting here doing a show with my eyes closed. So yeah, have fun.
Wow.
Wake me up.
No. You can still chime in even though you didn't watch the whole thing.
All right.
So I'm sure by now everyone's probably seen the Meghan and Harry interview, if you wanted to, with Oprah, or you've seen a lot of commentary about it. I watched it and I'm still shook. I just have like 17 takeaways that I want to talk about. The first one is, I think overall Princess Diana would be proud. I think she would be very proud of how her son is handling this situation. And as someone who grew up obsessed with Princess Diana, and like I'm talking about, I did like book reports on her and everything, like for school. Like, I legit have done a lot of research and watched all the movies and documentaries and all of that. And, you know, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. I walked away from that interview sad, upset, confused. I honestly, like, it answered a lot of questions, but I also walked away with more questions than answers. So the first thing is, can you can you like at least pretend like I'm talking to you and you're talking to me? Because this is weird, just talking. Like,
you're talking to the audience, babe.
Well, I want to have a conversation with you.
I bet. That's gonna be a new merchandise. I bet. Okay. Go ahead, hit it.
I don't know.
Yeah, you said this was the meat and potatoes of the thing. How you don't know?
I don't know. I just feel like you don't care.
I do, but I'm trying to recover from this nap, so just give me time. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right, so here's my question since you want me to talk. So Queen Elizabeth is the queen, right? Mm-hmm. But her husband not the king, right?
Right.
So her son will be the king.
Right.
Okay. So when it's time for her son to be the king, there's going to be a king of England, right? Mm-hmm. It's crazy to think about that because it's like our whole lives, we ain't never had no king of no major nation, because I don't think anybody else is a king right now in terms of like a major, I guess, top 3 nation in the world. I don't really know what that means. Because you got the U.S., the U.K., and what, China? China doesn't have a king. Japan don't have a king. Canada got a prime minister. But then they technically part of the UK, right?
They're part of the Commonwealth.
Commonwealth, yeah. So, yeah, it's just crazy that there's gonna be a king. It's like we grew up. They pretty much taught us in elementary school that kings and weren't really a thing anymore. And England only has a queen. So I grew up thinking that there would only be queens from here on out. But yeah, there's just something to think about that I'm always thinking about. That's pretty much my extent of the royal family knowledge. The extent of my knowledge of the royal family, rather. Yeah, so all right, that was just me proving I'm awake. So.
Oh, okay, great. So, all right. So my biggest issue with the interview was the fact that Meghan seemed very naive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she said that she didn't Google him.
She ain't doing no research.
Right. So, like, what you're just saying that all you knew about it. But if you were about to marry into that family, wouldn't you do your Googles?
Mm-hmm. When I first hit you up on Facebook and said, hey, and then we started typing messages back and forth, I was all up and through your Facebook looking for stuff.
Right, because you kind of want to know what you're getting into. And
yeah, want to know what you've been up to.
Right.
Try to make sure you ain't been, off doing weird stuff.
Exactly. And so she said that she didn't Google him because she just wanted to, she knew about him what he told her, which seems very naive for someone who had already been married before and who was older. And had some, work experience, life experience. I don't know. I would have done that in my 20s.
It was like the episode of How I Met Your Mother when Ted and Amber Stevens West's character, what's her name? Something Janet McIntyre.
Yes.
Where they're like, hey, let's go on a date, but not look each other up first. And then as soon as Ted
cute.
Looked her up, like, yeah, that's cute for the first date. But
that's romantic. But no, you're talking about marrying into one of the
most powerful and wealthy families on the planet that literally everybody on the planet knows.
How?
Yeah.
How? I don't understand that.
That wasn't the smartest move.
And then, how did she not grow up obsessed with his mom? Like, she's 7 years older than I am.
Damn, really?
Yes.
I thought she was our age.
I did too, until I did my Googles.
I do bang.
Because I was like, hold up. Like, no, she got to... I know she's like either my age or older.
Yeah, she been hella like girl power type ever since she was on them like OG Nickelodeon shows back in the day.
Right, which is great, but I don't know. It just seems weird. Like she said that she thought that they just curtsied in public, so when she met the queen, she didn't know she had to curtsy.
Yeah, I would have been like, okay, how do I do this? Am I supposed to do this? What am I like? Do I need to button this top button on my shirt or what?
And the thing is,
and
she said,
just learned like right before they walked in.
The thing is, she said that because she, lived in LA, she was used to meeting celebrities, so she just didn't think it was that serious. But like, they're not regular celebrities.
Nah, they're not.
Like, they're royalty. It's different. We don't really have a U.S. equivalent. So, I mean, I get the naivete, but I also don't because you grown.
Yeah, that was weird.
So, one of my friends pointed out the fact that colorism allowed her to marry into the family, but it also it didn't save her from experiencing anti-Black racism, which ultimately forced her out.
So go ahead and go into depth about what those two things mean.
So basically, she was able to marry this prince because she is so light-skinned. Like, she could pass, like, if she wanted to. Like, she's almost, like, passing.
Right, carry on.
And so, I think that played a big part in her ability to marry him in the first place. Just being quite frank and honest, highly doubt if she had been my shade or darker that she could have moved in the same way. But then once she got there, it's almost like she was shocked to still experience the level of racism that she experienced. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I knew what you meant from jump. I just wanted you to explain it better.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I
somebody
probably
who's
worded it
listening to
wrong
this didn't see it
the first time.
Yeah, because it sounds like because the way you worded it, it was like a bad thing allowed her to marry into the family, but a different version of the same bad thing forced her out.
That's
ultimately what you said. So
yes,
I wanted you to break that down.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you did. But yeah, so one of I guess the first shock moments of the interview was that they were worried about the color of their kids' skin tone. So Archie and any other kids that they would eventually have, how dark would they be? And they never said who in the family said that, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it was Charles because I hate Charles. And let's be real, it probably was. Everybody hates Charles.
Looking at.
So, but meanwhile, that baby is clear.
Basically.
So it's like, what's the problem? I mean, I understand that black people come in all shades, and even though she's biracial, and so the baby would just be a quarter black, technically. But yeah, I mean, kids come out all different colors. Genes sometimes reach back, reach around.
LOL.
I mean, because my grandmother and grandfather were both brown skinned and had 7 kids, one of which was very light skinned, and the rest were brown. Mm-hmm. About the same shade of brown. So yeah, you just never know what genes are going to do. I get that, but still, what? How? I mean, as light as she is, and then he white. Well, what? But yeah,
and her mama not even the darkest person.
Exactly. But yeah, the fact that was even a problem. So then that sent us into a whole tangent about how, because I saw a tweet that was basically saying they were so worried about Archie's skin tone, they need to be worried about their horizontal family tree because of all the royal inbreeding. And so
they nasty.
That's so gross. So that sent us on a what's the word?
You said tangent earlier.
Yeah, sent us on a tangent about looking up YouTube videos about royal inbreeding.
Yeah, so here's the deal. When I'm it's still the pandemic, right? So I gotta go in the office 2 days out of the week now. At first it was no days out of the week, but then they were like, no, go back in the office for 2 days a week. I was like, all right, fine, I'll go back in the office 2 days a week, right? I don't be having nothing to do that I can't do from the house. So, and there's nobody else in there with me. So I'll just do what I got to do. And then I'm just kind of sitting there waiting for something else to do, or waiting for the phone to ring, or waiting to respond to emails. In the meantime, I like to educate myself on YouTube, so I'm watching informational videos, literally from a channel called The Infographic Show, which has become one of my favorite channels. So if you're not familiar with The Infographic Show, cool. Go look at The Infographic Show and try not to get lost. Like if you ain't got nowhere to be, go just click on any one video and go down that rabbit hole. That's a fun rabbit hole to go down because you will get lost in YouTube, but that's a fun way to do it and you'll learn stuff. So yeah, I remember watching this video about inbreeding, like in royal families, like some months ago, right? Probably like back in January or something. And yeah, I was just like, it popped into my mind when Tara mentioned this yesterday. And I was like, oh, we need to watch this video. And then every time I pick something to put on a television screen, Tara's all upset because it's not something she picked.
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I bought all the TVs. Dang,
yes.
Let me pick a TV show every once in a while. Gosh. So yeah. And then she ended up liking it because it was relevant and it told us stuff that she didn't even know. So I was like, yeah, see what happens when you let me pick stuff to watch.
Yeah. And then we went from there to the whole like Adam and Eve conversation of like, when did so Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel, and Cain killed Abel, and then they had Seth, and then here's how we got there. So we watched the video, right? Just look up the Habsburgs, or I think that's how you spell it, Habsburgs. I can't remember what country. I feel like it was Spain from back in the day. Look up Habsburg inbreeding, and just read about that, or watch that video that I just told you to watch on the Infographic Show. Yeah. So basically, what had happened was, they was literally marrying their family members to, quote, keep their bloodlines pure. And obviously genetics will tell, DNA, biology, science will all tell you that family members begetting other family members with other family members is a bad thing to do. Because there are a ton of defects that can occur with the child's birth.
So there's always problems. I can't remember exactly which queen it was, but all of her sons were also her cousins, basically, or something like that, or nephews and her son. Yeah.
That's messy.
Yeah, it's gross. Every last one of them died from like hemophilia or something like that. Basically, their bloods were allegedly so, quote, pure that they weren't able to clot. So half of them bled out like all the time. Other ones were born like blind, had mental illnesses and developmental issues and physical deformities and all kinds of stuff. So it's just simply not a good idea. So then we were like, you know who else was inbreeders? Adam and Eve.
Because eventually
that was
somebody had to marry somebody. Unless God just like dropped some more people down and didn't put it in the Bible because they're like, you get the point. Like, I'm not going to go through all it. Like, I don't know. But yeah, we went on a tangent.
What we did read was that some of that Cain, and I think Abel had a wife at some point before he got killed by his brother. Cain and Abel and Seth were all married to their sisters who created children, who eventually created children with their siblings.
Anybody with a Bible scholar, correct us if we're wrong.
Please, somebody tell us. Like, if you know something that we don't.
The extent of our research.
Like, seriously, we looked it up. We found a bunch of reputable sources, and that's pretty much what they all said. So if you type in Adam and Eve family tree, just go look at it. Yeah, they were, yeah. And then Noah with the ark, and then there wasn't nobody else left except Noah's family.
Well, it was his kids, and they already had wives.
Yeah, but even then, they're technically still cousins if you go back far enough.
Oh, you're right.
Because, yeah, they were like, they all came from the same two people. So, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so back to the royal family.
Because I can go on and on about that because that's just weird.
Because you know a lot about inbreeding.
After watching the infographic show, yeah.
You're so smart.
Yeah, the infographic show. Shout out to them. I'm going to tag them in this and see if they'll send me like $20 for mentioning their name so many times.
Okay. So one thing I did love is that both Meg and Harry talked about their mental health struggles and talked freely about it, unapologetically. Like, it was just, he stated it multiple times how it affected his mental health. And I mean, obviously he and Oprah have a like a mental health show that they're working on for Apple TV. So I mean, it was like shameless
Harry
plug.
A real one, bro.
But yeah, he really had no problem speaking up about it. And Megan talked about the fact that this messed with her mental health so bad that she was suicidal at one point. And like Oprah was like, wait, so
marriage ain't supposed to make you suicidal,
nor should the family.
Yeah,
they say you marry the family, but not like that. That's too much.
My in-laws are dope.
My in-laws are dope.
So
we lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But
like,
yeah,
just because we lucky, still it shouldn't be that bad for other people.
Yeah. But I love that they did talk about mental health and just them speaking up about their experience, I think will help other people. Man, the whole Kate making Meg cry and then Meg being blamed for it, that was very triggering for me.
Yeah, that was effed up.
I feel like every Black woman who's ever had any type of workplace experience with white people, white women in particular, knows exactly what that feels like, where someone says that you yelled at them or you made them cry just because you said something they didn't like or agree with. And it's very ridiculous. And I hate that because, Kate and Meg being sisters-in-law should have been able to like lean on each other, not throw one under the bus or turn against each other or whatever. Like,
right.
Yeah, that's so messed up. So messed up. My other big takeaway, gotta get you some real besties. Because I don't know what that was.
They're throwing stuff.
Gotta get you some real besties because Megan confided in Diana's best friend. Because that was like one of the only people that kind of knew what she was going through.
Yeah, I was out of the room by this point.
But like the thing is, I mean, obviously I hope nothing ever happens to me. But if anything were to ever happen to me, I have a very legit core group of best friends who I know would take care of my kids. Like, or be that person they can count on or lean on, like if they ever needed anything. So I don't know. I just really loved the thought of like Diana still taking care of her kids even after being gone. It's just, you know, a nice little moment. And also marry a man who will go to war for you.
That's real.
This dude really up and left, gave back his titles, his military credentials, the money, everything.
Yeah, he real.
For her. And I mean, you people want to blame her and be like, well, he wouldn't have left if it wasn't for her. Well, she wouldn't be in that position if it weren't for his crazy family.
Exactly.
So he deserved, like, he did the right thing. I love that he really was there for her in the way that nobody was there for his mom.
Bro, the minute they left and got to the United States, and I think they were somewhere, and Jay-Z was also there, he literally was like, oh yeah, by the way, my wife does voiceover work. I'm like, man, you better network for your wife, like immediately. Like shamelessly plug in. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. He's legit. And I mean, that's honestly, after what he went through with his mom, I'm surprised he ain't left way before now. Like, how could you really expect the minute it starts to look like history was repeating itself? He was like, let's go. Nope.
Yeah.
But one thing I did like that they cleared up is the media kind of made it seem like they just quit, but really they were just trying to take a step back and take a smaller role. But then once they did that, I guess the firm just cut them off.
Yeah.
Which the firm, the institution,
these all just sound like scapegoats system. To not blame any specific person on something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the point is it's bigger than just the queen. It's obviously not really just
that's
her.
Obvious, but again,
it's a system.
Who's taking responsibility for the system? Sound like nobody is what I'm saying.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, nobody.
Must be nice to just have systems you can blame on stuff. Because I mean, yeah, just do whatever you want to somebody and then act like it's not your problem. Sound familiar? See what I did there? Carry on.
Was that supposed to be about Trump?
Not directly, but I mean, just something about the whole United States and all the systems and yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Nobody needs a minimum wage raise. When I was in college, I worked for $1, and then after a month, I got a raise of 10 cents, and I paid off my college and graduated debt free. Yeah, that's back when college was 55 cents. So yeah. Anyway, carry on.
I also love that Harry has gone to therapy, and he spoke freely about that, and he said he's, quote, done the work, which means he's learned more about racism and power and privilege and oppression and microaggressions and, all these things.
Better than Michelle Williams' fiance. Or ex-fiance, excuse me.
Yeah, we're not going to go there.
I'm sleepy, so I'm just throwing shade. Carry on.
But at the end of the day, one of my favorite parts about the interview was the fact that Oprah still got it. Mm-hmm. She is and always will be the top tier interviewer.
Yep.
Because the way she handled that, her follow-up questions, her circle back game, brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Legit, nobody could have done that interview but her.
Nah.
It just wouldn't be the same. So apparently,
my wife does really good interviews.
Oh, thank you.
We'll get you there one day. That's like the whole point of this podcast is so we can keep working between stuff.
So apparently, this was the most watched non-sports program since last year's Oscars telecast.
Oh, wow.
17.1 million viewers. And that was just that watched it live. People going back and rewatching it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect for Tyler Perry to be involved in this at all. I was so shocked.
Yeah, I learned of Tyler Perry's involvement and I was so shocked. Y'all
They
gonna quit
said they
hating on
ended
Tyler
up
Perry, man.
staying with Tyler Perry. Like that really that took me out.
Yeah, I gonna quit hating on Tyler Perry.
That's the thing. People always try to be like, "Oh, Tyler Perry is the worst, and terrible movies, and blah blah blah." But at the end of the day, he's given so many black actors and actresses jobs when other people would not. Like, he's always quietly doing something for people that you don't even realize. Diary of a Mad Black Duchess. The royal family that prays.
That's funny.
Daddy's Little Dukes and Duchesses.
That was less funny, but...
For colored royal great-grandchildren who can't get security when racism isn't enough. That's the one.
That might be the one.
That's it. I still think Diary of a Mad Black Duchess is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
But For Colored Girls is it.
They're all funny, but that one just punched the hardest. Yeah. You gotta have a certain type of sense of humor for the longer ones to be funny.
Yeah.
They're all funny to me, so.
I don't know. I just felt like Megan was still holding back a lot. Like she was trying to still be nice.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
Which
she didn't just let loose on people.
Well, the thing is, if you do that, then you're the angry black woman.
Or you also endangering your life because they'll come after you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they're already calling her a bully and calling her all kinds of stuff. Like, so I understand her choosing her words so carefully. But Harry got on there and spilled all the tea. All the tea.
Yeah, I was back in the room by the time Harry got on there, so.
He wasn't holding back at all. The only thing he didn't say was who said the thing about Archie's skin tone. Because he said if he went into that, it would be bad. Which makes me know it was way worse than we could even imagine.
That's crazy.
The only thing he said it wasn't his grandma or his grandpa. Which means it was Charles. It means it was his dad. And possibly his brother. But probably his dad.
See, my guess is that it was Charles. Some random...
Camilla.
Maybe Camilla. So I'm going to say Charles, some random nobody who acts like they have more power than they actually do.
Like a chief of staff type person.
Like somebody with half of that title, but then acts like they're the chief of staff or something like that.
Or like one of the extended family members.
Yeah, one of them.
Like the uncle.
Yeah, one of them that talk too much and be trying to...
The pedophile
be
uncle.
Something like that. That be trying to be all in the pictures and stuff and don't want to be trying to do the most. That person, or I don't know, maybe Kate.
I would not be surprised.
I would, but I don't know enough about Kate to put it past her.
Me either. The thing is, after watching The Crown and watching Scandal, you can't say that they're lying. That's what I don't understand is people that are like, I don't know, I don't trust her. What does she have to gain from this? Like, they already done got kicked out the family, lost all the money, lost the security, lost the titles. Like, they're literally on their own. There's no reason for them to lie at this point. Like, but also, did you not see The Crown? Do you not see Scandal, where that's literally the vast majority of the show is where they spin stuff in the press and leak stories about people to make the public believe one thing to hide something else. Like, yeah, it's pretty accurate. I just want to see this play out on The Crown. I want to see the movie, the biopic, the documentary, all of it.
Thank you for saying biopic instead of biopic.
I know.
It drives me nuts.
It really does. But yeah, I'm just gonna rewatch The Crown real quick. I love The Crown. It's such a good show. If you haven't watched it yet, you really should. Regardless of how you feel about the royal family.
Man, that's like the most depressing TV show ever.
It is. It's so good.
Oh, you remember you was asking me what one of the most terrible songs was? And and I couldn't think of nothing other than Friday by that one chick on YouTube. That whole damn year song by Mary J. Blige.
That is a terrible song.
I don't get it.
I love Mary J. Blige.
Absolutely nothing else. I'm sure she was telling a story.
It seemed like it should have been a story,
but it didn't need to be a single.
Yeah,
it didn't need to be on the radio.
It was not a good single.
I didn't even like the song.
That's worse than I Gave You Tuna in the Facina.
That was worse than I Gave You Tuna in a Festina. Yeah,
but I honestly hope that after Queen Elizabeth dies, they just hang it up. Because what did they even do? Let's be real. They don't do anything. They're figureheads at this point. So go ahead and tear it down. Tear it all down. Burn it down to the ground. Make the Buckingham Palace a museum and move on with life. Like,
they ain't gonna know how.
They're trying to hold on to their little bit of power and their money.
Yeah, because you remember I was talking about in elementary school, they was like, yeah, kingdoms aren't really a thing anymore. Everybody's all political now. So, yeah, it's not one specific ruling family anymore. Nobody really does that anymore, except in England and a couple of really small countries that we're not going to teach you about.
And they still have a prime minister that makes all the actual decisions.
Yeah, so.
The queen has to remain impartial, so she really don't do nothing. Anyway, so if you haven't watched the interview and if all of our spoilers didn't ruin it for you, go watch it.
Okay, remind me to put spoiler alert in the description. Yeah,
lots of spoiler alerts. There's lots more spoiler alerts. We watched Coming to America.
We did. And here's my thing. I'm about sick of people talking about some, man, that movie was terrible. It wasn't even funny. Okay, so I'm basically talking to black people here. What's a good movie at this point?
What y'all want?
What do you want?
We liked it.
It was a good movie. There was nothing wrong with that movie.
First of all, in a pandemic. Second of all, for a sequel 30 years later,
like,
what more could they really do? It was a good storyline, in my opinion. Almost everybody came back. Like, I think Madge Sinclair was the only one that didn't come back. She's an AK. And she passed away. So,
yeah.
Like, what did you really want?
Lisa's sister didn't come back, did she?
Who?
Lisa's sister.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her. So yeah, but the majority of the main original cast came back. So the only thing that kind of creeped me out was the like soothsayer or whatever, the prophet guy was really creepy.
That was weird.
And then also I have to say, as much as I really liked the movie, I have to go on record and say the biggest part of the plot that bothered me was the fact that Prince Akeem was allegedly drugged, and I guess then that means Leslie Jones raped him?
Yeah, that's like the only red flag.
That was the way to make him have had a kid and not know it? Like, I don't know. I don't like that. I kind of would rather they just been like, oh yeah, he did have this, crazy wild night that he forgot about or tried to forget about. I don't know.
Yeah, but it ended with progress.
It did end with progress with the daughter. Yeah.
I just feel like they should have announced it rather than him just being like, oh, by the way,
I'm gonna make you.
You can be the ruler next.
Because remember the
You can be the heir.
Because remember the lady that the barber, I guess.
Marimbe.
She actually said they all make promises and they don't ever follow through.
Right.
So that could have just been seen as him being like, all right, I got you. Just wait 30 more years. And it may or may not actually happen.
Mm-hmm. My biggest issue is that. My biggest issue with the movie, because here's the thing, I get why it wasn't like the storyline wasn't more detailed in terms of the resolution,
right?
Because literally one scene, what's my boy, Blade, not Blade, but
Wesley
Snipes, his character was like about to kill them, and then the next scene they're all partying together like nothing happened.
Yeah,
so
that was weird.
But here's the deal though. Black people didn't like Malcolm and Marie. It was detailed. It was extremely detailed. It was extremely
nuanced.
drawn out. It was like people don't like long stories. They want to get to the point. So that's what this movie did. This movie straight up got to the point, and y'all didn't like that either. Pick one. Pick one. It can't be both. But yeah, I do wish it would have like shown a resolution there and made like a bigger announcement, like a bigger deal of her being the heir.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that would have been cool to see.
But overall, I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it felt kind of like a reunion.
It just looked like people was on Facebook trying to use big words that they just looked up to talk bad about it, so they could seem deeper than they are.
I think anytime a sequel comes out, people are like, "No, this is terrible. I don't want it. The original is better."
No, everybody was hyped. Everybody was hyped for it.
Right, but I'm saying like then after it came out, people were mad. But a sequel is never going to be the original. The original is still there. It's on Amazon Prime too.
Go watch the original.
You can watch that.
You do not have to watch the sequel.
Let me tell you, that just reminded me of Jay-Z line when he's like, "People always want my old stuff. Go listen to my old stuff."
Yeah.
Like,
Hove on that new ish. People like How Come. People want my old ish. Buy my old album. It's still there. It is still an option.
It's available.
The new one is not a requirement for you. So yeah. Just do that.
So, one little cute virtual date night idea is the Keep Your Distance comedy show.
What a segue. Because I ain't finna get... the only other thing that I didn't like about the movie is Rick Ross's character trying to... That was just terrible.
Oh, yeah, that was really bad.
Hey, it's Ricky Ross. I'm the boss. And the other kingdom next door is trying to do this. And it's some intruders. And I'm from Miami. Ugh. That's basically what that sounded like.
Terrible.
That was the worst acting I've seen. And also, I'm gonna be honest, I just don't like Rick Ross.
I don't either.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I can't. And
Yeah,
I'm being honest that I was impartial. That I'm partial to him not doing well. He just it's just like he'll ruin the best song with like one line that shouldn't have been said.
Yep.
Or he'll get on features and talk about something completely different than what the rest of the song is about and kind of ruin the whole song. But yeah, I'm happy for him that he's apparently well off, because apparently that was his house. The castle was his house or something like that. I'm not upset that he's doing well. I'm just upset that again, that's just my opinion. I'm glad to see a black man doing this thing, but man,
no, he's said and done some terrible things.
He said and done some terrible things and ruined some really good songs by being a pseudo intellectual, and he really could have tried harder to fake that accent, because it really just sounded like Rick Ross.
It seems to me that like him being in the movie was probably a trade-off for using the house, and so basically they were like, okay, let's give him something to say.
Let's give him a line. And yeah, it was. They should have practiced with him a little bit more.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, so another great virtual date night is like a Keep Your Distance comedy show. If you guys ever heard of Kev on Stage, he's been doing this literally throughout the whole pandemic, and I've been meaning to buy tickets for us throughout the whole pandemic, and I just always forgot or didn't or whatever.
I didn't even know about it because I'm so good at like tuning out ads when people like promote themselves. Like, we watching his videos and then he'll be like, and by the way, you need to buy these tickets to my comedy tour. And at that point, I'm just already zoned out. Like, and that's what people on YouTube be talking about their sponsors and stuff. I just don't hear it. I have the ability to tune out stuff that people want me to pay for something. And it sucks. But yeah, I don't want to not pay for people's stuff. It's just that I've been trained. I used to be broke a long time ago. Even now, I'm not super wealthy, but, I'm better than I was. But, man, I used to be broke. I got really good at not hearing the part where I got to pay for it. So I didn't even know about it. Like, we watch Kev on Stage all the time. I didn't even know about it till Tara said she bought the thing. I was like, oh, snap.
Yeah, sometimes I try to surprise you with stuff. And sometimes I don't know if you're going to like it or not, so I just don't say anything.
I loved it. It was dope.
Just in case it didn't happen. So you enjoyed it?
Absolutely.
What did you enjoy about it?
10 out of 10 would recommend. New comedians. I would say fresh material. Some of it wasn't as fresh as it could have been. I don't want to go into detail about that because it's Women's History Month. But man, that last guy, what was his name? Comedian K-Dub.
K-Dub.
That dude, that was literally the best stand-up set I have seen.
I have to agree.
Ever.
I think the problem with probably 3, so I think it was 7 people total?
Yeah, let's go with that.
So 3 or 4 of the 7, it seemed like they just hadn't got their comedic timing right.
Timing and cadence are a very big deal.
And usually when we watch comedy shows or comedy specials, it's usually on Netflix, Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle or somebody. Trevor Noah, Tiffany Haddish, people that have already practiced
Gary
and
Owen.
they've got their set down pat at that point. So that was my biggest issue with a few of them.
And throwback Jamie Foxx's and throwback Steve Harvey's.
But the other 3 or 4 were really good, and then K-Dub was just phenomenal. We're still quoting it.
Man, it's like
hash browns.
Man, damn hash browns.
Ain't no under the bed.
Ain't no under the bed.
I know you got it on you.
I know you got it on you. Go on give it to me because I know you got it on you.
I know you got it on you.
That's a terrible thing to say to one, but I see the print. I'm looking at it.
The lottery tickets.
You see, I would kill him if I would put that 7, 4, 3, and a 6 right there.
If I put the 7 where the 9 is.
And the 4 where the other 9 is, and the 3 where the 9 is, and the 6, I'd have shut them down.
It was amazing. Point is,
right, see, I won 2 free hash browns. You said I wasn't gonna win. I just won 2 free hash browns. But you bought 37 large fries. Yeah, but I ain't gotta pay for these. Man, that additional 19 cents in the drive.
two for $1.
Just go watch it because I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil all the hilarity.
The point is, if you're looking for something fun to do, that is a good one. I hope he continues it even after things open back up, just because it's a good idea. It's brilliant.
Maybe Kev will give us $20 too.
That'd be
dope. I'm trying to get us sponsors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Grownish. Can we talk about Grownish?
Yep.
Grownish spoilers. Spoiler alert. If you're not caught up on Grownish, if you don't watch Grownish, I think you should. I watch Blackish, Grownish, and Mixedish.
And Black AF.
Grownish is my favorite.
Yeah, Grownish is the best one.
If you don't watch any of the other ones, Grownish is just on its own an amazing show. So again, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Vivek kissed a guy and didn't like it.
Yeah, he didn't like it.
Yeah.
He was fine with that.
I thought that was
what? That was gross. I don't want to do that again.
I thought
didn't want to do it in the first place, clearly, but
I thought that was a really great discussion. That whole episode was a really great way of covering what that means in
right.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just I just love the way they handled it. And I like that Vivek was open enough to share that with his friends.
Yeah, it clearly didn't bother him at all.
At all.
Right. If it had bothered him, then maybe there was a question there.
Yeah.
Something else to discover.
Exactly.
But
that he was hiding.
Way he was like, okay, yeah, that was not for me.
Yeah.
And knew it and was confident in it, stood up in it. He was perfectly fine with the fact that it was not for him. He had nothing to hide. That's real. And I just feel like if he was trying to hide it, and let's start from the beginning. The reason he did it because his girlfriend was all on drugs.
Yes.
And she was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have sex with me, but first that's basically what it looked like. Kiss this guy." And he was just like, But when you on drugs and you about to smash, you're not gonna let nothing stop you from smashing. I don't even what drug was it? Do you remember what the drug was? I don't remember. It was probably a Molly or something like that, some psychedelic or a hallucinogenic or something, because he was floating. But point is, he wasn't finna let that stop him from.
Yeah, he did not enjoy it, and so I think that is the deciding or determining factor.
If you steal a loaf of bread because you have to eat, it doesn't make you a thief.
It makes you Aladdin.
Okay. Point is, you're not gonna let this one thing that you don't really want to do stop you from the one thing that you really do want to do, and that's the same situation. The one kiss with a dude did not make him a gay person.
Exactly.
If you do something gay, it doesn't make you a gay person until you decide that doing that is something that you enjoy doing and you want to do it by choice. Right. That's when you need to examine your sexuality. Like if you post a video on YouTube, that doesn't make you a YouTuber.
It does not.
It's the same concept. It's not the same concept. But yeah, if you do something stupid, it doesn't make you a stupid person. If you fail a test, that doesn't make you a failure in life. It's, just the same principle has to apply there. People will tell you their sexuality when they're ready to.
Exactly.
People will tell you that their sexuality is not a different thing than what it is. So when somebody tells you their sexuality, that's what their sexuality is.
I also love that they kind of showed a positive and realistic portrayal of celibacy.
Man.
Right?
Oh, girl. So right-wing girl. Anna, yeah.
So, first of all, the way, like...
What's her dude's name? I forgot.
I don't remember. But the fact that he was celibate first, and then she decided to, okay, well, let me see, what is that has you so committed to this for. So then she really recommitted herself to God, and instead of just being like super conservative, she actually found like an actual relationship with God and a purpose tied to the celibacy. And then they messed up. They slipped.
They did it, yeah.
And then
that's realistic.
That's so realistic. And then they recommitted themselves. Like, I don't know. I just think most times TV and movies show people who are celibate or virgins, and they're just like corny and doing it for the wrong reasons, or they don't have access to or any opportunities to. But to show someone that's like really struggling with it and dealing with it in a real way, I really love that they actually showed that. And even just like Christianity, I feel like sometimes gets put off as like corny, but like his character, I can't remember the guy's name, but her new boyfriend is like really opening her up to a more authentic walk with God. And I just thought that was really cool.
Right. And that's just the biggest part of it, is you have to be authentic. You can't just be doing what you're told because you're told without knowing why.
See, and that's the difference between being celibate because you have a higher purpose or higher calling, or you have a reason that you want to, versus purity culture that we were raised in, where it's just like, close your legs, and no explanation of feelings or emotions or what's tied to.
Yeah, didn't nobody tell me about none of that stuff.
Sex. I mean, it's just STDs, pregnancy, close your legs.
Yeah, for me, it was like, don't make no kids. I'm like, all right.
That's all you get. And that's one thing I love about this, is it's a bigger, more open dialogue, and just, I don't know, it's showcasing a different light.
Right. But yeah, ultimately what I took from it is that people are redeemable.
Yes.
It's like people are going to make mistakes because people are human, and humans were not ever intended to be perfect. The last perfect person was Jesus, and that was it. Yeah. So yeah, Jesus knows that we're not going to be perfect. That's why he died for our sins, because it's like, look, y'all are terrible, and I know this. All you got to do is call upon the name of the Lord and you shall be saved. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't mean just go out and do whatever you want to do and then be like, oh, sorry. It's not that simple. But yeah.
But also, if you make a mistake, that's what did Donnie say? We fall down
and we get up. For a saint is just a sinner who fell down
and got up.
So yeah, same concept with Vivek. Vivek did something he didn't want to do, didn't like it, and was straight up about it and was like, yeah, not doing that again. Don't want to do that again.
Honestly, my bigger issue with the whole Vivek situation is the fact that the girlfriend was like completely wilding out about him like selling drugs, but then she was willing to do drugs,
the drugs and then
make him have a threesome. Like, what, girl?
You notice how she wasn't even in that episode, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm so ready to be done with her. So Jazz didn't make the cut.
Jazz did not make the cut.
And did all that with Doug for nothing.
Or maybe it was for something and she was right, but she just still failed because she didn't really let him go the way she should have anyway.
Yeah. She was still chasing up after him and wondering what he was doing, and like she was still distracted. Right. Is the point, I guess.
Yeah. But go ahead and tell people your theory.
What's my theory?
that Sky did make the cut because
Oh yeah, I mean it's not necessarily
I know,
my
but not
theory,
your
but
theory, but the theory that's
floating on the
are
internet.
thinking, yeah.
Well, I actually did think of it before I saw it on the internet, but yeah, yeah, I'm thinking Sky made it.
The Olympics. They were training for the
Jazz
Olympics.
didn't because because Halle Bailey is filming The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, that was
and that was a way to write her out of the show
temporarily. Like, so she's we're gonna assume that she's off somewhere training for the Olympics in the next season, which we might not see her very much. That was a pretty dope concept, and it was already a thing because they were already track stars.
Who knows?
So we eventually needed to qualify for the Olympics anyway. So yeah, it was pretty dope.
Zoe and
that
Aaron,
also might not be a thing, but it could be a thing.
Zoe and Aaron,
yeah.
kissed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sick of them.
Me too.
Sick of it. If they don't make it work this time, I'm really done. I thought she should have chose him instead of Luca.
Absolutely.
But then now she's circling back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think she was lonely and homesick and just...
And those two things you just said lead me to believe that it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Because she was lonely and homesick, and then that feeling came over her in that moment. And she just probably wanted that moment. The itch has been scratched, and then it's going to go back to reality. And
then he's going to get back with his girlfriend, but then he's going to tell her because he's so honest. And then
I don't even think it's going to get that far. I think he's going to go ahead and break up with the old girl and then try to make it work with Zoe. And then it's going to like fall apart almost immediately, like instantaneously, like with it given.
Because Zoe ruins everything.
Zoe seems to touch everything she touched turns to dust. Yeah. Everything I touch may disintegrate in disgust.
Wow. Superstore is not the same without Amy.
Into dust, yeah. Yeah, Superstore. R.I.P.
It's terrible without Amy.
Yeah, and it's still good. That's the bad part. It's still a good show.
It's still good.
But it was a great show at first.
And I'm loving seeing Francesca Ramsey on there. I'm excited for her. But yeah, no, it's...
I want her to have more lines these last few episodes.
Me too.
It ain't gonna survive past America Ferrera leaving.
Jessica Lee. Well, that's all that's on my timeline. I know that was a lot and a lot of TV and movie spoilers, but...
Well, we're over an hour at this point, so that's the show.
You don't want to do no listener letters?
We don't really have that kind of time. I mean, we can if you just want it to be a long show. I'm cool with that. I was like laughing when I said that's the show.
Oh, I can't.
That's literally what I was saying earlier. I was like, that the Meghan and Harry thing is going to be really long, and whatever else we talk about, we probably need to cut some stuff to keep it the amount of time that our listeners are used to listening to.
Okay.
So yeah, well, but we can keep going. We make it a long show if you want to.
No letters.
Is there anything time pressing or consuming or sensitive? Rather, time sensitive is what I was trying to say. In the listener letters. If you got listener letters, you got questions that we can probably help you with, or you just want to hear our take on something, askttrl@gmail.com. Send us your questions. Don't really care what it's about. It could be work drama, relationship drama. You might be a Zoe Johnson trying to figure out what to do with your Trevor. Yeah, we're pretty good at answering those types of questions. Again, we've been in a relationship for 8 years straight, so we know a thing or two. If it's work drama, we both have jobs and work in offices, so we can tell you how to navigate those kind of things. Or if you just want to know what my favorite color is, I'm pretty sure most people know what my favorite color is. But if you want to know, you can send us that question. We may very well answer it on the show.
So,
she's choking again. Don't drink more water.
Okay. So yeah, I do want to answer a couple questions.
All right, go for it.
So the first question is from Jonah.
LOL.
And Jonah wants to know, will Ricey ever drop that EP?
All right, Jonah. There will be a day where I return to the mic. See what I did there?
I did.
And drop an EP. So yeah, a long time ago, I told y'all that I used to be somewhat of a recording artist and never officially stopped. It was just I was doing other stuff like being an adult and running a photography, graphic design business. And yeah, I still do music from time to time. It's a thing still. If you got the Apple Music or the Tidal, or eventually the Spotify or the any other streaming thing, pretty much all the streaming things out there, you can search RY-C. That's my name. And one of my songs will pop up. It's on YouTube too, I think. Yeah. So that was really just kind of a run through to make sure I had the distribution channels all correct. And yeah, at some point I will be dropping an EP, hopefully before May.
Why before May?
Because like I got to give myself a deadline. I'm just gonna not do it. I'm gonna keep putting it off. So yeah, the plan is to release my EP, which will be called Versatility, the EP.
I can dig it.
Yeah, because my business is called Versatile Optics, and my last name is Versi. So VERS is kind of my brand. Yeah, it's my name, my business, the title of my mixtape, the title of an album if I eventually turn around and do an album too. So it'll be Versatility to the EP, and then maybe Versatility to the mixtape before Versatility to the album, and then Versatility 2 and 3 and 4 and so on.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. There's a song called Good Things Must End. Disclaimer, that song is super old. I recorded that many years ago. I just somebody, the person who submitted this question, I know exactly who it is. It's not really Jonah. We always change the names to whatever TV show we're watching. But yeah, the person who submitted that question kind of bullied me into submitting a recording for a record label. And I was like, I bet. And that's what I always say to everything at this point, I bet. That was like the only song that I was like, that I felt was ready enough to submit to a label in terms of execution and quality, because I recorded everything myself, which is part of the Versatility brand. But yeah, so I just went ahead and did that. And I was like, you know what? Since I'm submitted to a label, might as well go and put it on the streaming sites too, because I paid for a distribution like 2 years ago and never used it. So finally used it. So yeah, for those of you who don't know why the album art on this podcast says Tarot Car and Raci, but the name of the show is Tarot Talks Ryan Listens, that's why. Raci is my stage name. Ryan just happens to be the name of the show. So yeah.
Okay.
Carry on.
The next question is from Glenn. Glenn wants to know, what skincare products do we use?
You go first, because the only skincare product I use is the stuff I put in my beard for Shea Moisture, I think. Okay. You go first.
Well, I am actually in between skincare products, and that is because I was addicted to Proactive, which is also known as skin crack. The thing about Proactive is they put something in there to where when you use it, you can only use that. And when you stop using it, your face goes crazy. So
I don't think that was like, hey, add that addictive ingredient so people won't stop buying our product. I just think that, you know, people make products that work a certain way, and then if you don't keep using it, they won't keep working. But I mean, they very well could be doing exactly what you said too, so I'm not putting it past them.
Yeah, but ask anybody that's ever used Proactive and they will back me up on this. Yes, of course, I'm exaggerating a tad bit. But anyway, the point is, I stopped using Proactive probably, 5 or 6 years ago?
It wasn't that long ago.
4 or 5 years ago?
Let's go with 4.
Just because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be using Proactive the rest of my life. And then I switched to Neutrogena because I was like,
I got some Neutrogena.
Kerry Washington too is black, and she's on this commercial, so I'll do that. And then I like the grapefruit thing, but I just ordered the Fenty sample, Fenty Skin, so I'm gonna try that, and we'll see how that works.
Yeah, I need a new skincare product as well. I ain't realized what my face looked like until I saw the wedding video, and there was a spot in the wedding video. I was like, is that my face? Mm-hmm. Why didn't anybody tell me my skin is all uneven? I was like, I know I got bags under my eyes and I don't know how to get rid of them, but I'm sure somebody knows and just nobody told me. So somebody tell me how to get rid of bags under my eyes and random dark spots, because I don't want to do that skin bleaching crap. I don't want to do that. I just want to find like a normal product that'll even out my complexion, because it's, Yeah, I didn't know. Nobody told me. I just had me walking around here looking crazy. But yeah, so send me your skincare suggestions.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm at the age where I need like an actual skincare routine and not just like I'm gonna wash my face in the shower.
I should be struggling to keep my beard moisturized.
I'm like, I feel like I'm about to get old. Like I'm almost to the age where I need to use what is it? Like the eye cream.
That's probably what I need.
So, yeah. I'm gonna start taking care of my skin.
Yeah, I haven't really given a lot of damns because pandemic and I don't go nowhere. And then when I do go somewhere, it's my office, ain't nobody else in there. And the grocery store don't really care who looking at me at the grocery store.
Accurate.
So yeah, I've kind of been lacking, as the kids would say, with the skincare routine. So yeah, and then there's also part of it, a small part of it is the fact that I'm married and I don't really care what everybody else thinks about me now. Cause that's what they say happens. It's like once you get married, you get comfortable and really don't really care. Cause you ain't gotta impress nobody no more, which is kind of not true. Cause you still gotta impress the person you married to. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like I ain't worried about all these other chicks out here. So I'll be trying. Chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'll just be chilling, just being, like when, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You was mad at me for not responding earlier, but okay. Y'all see how she do me?
Our last question is from Harry. And Harry wants to know, is it okay to eat Papa John's again?
Oh, you want me to respond now? Okay, yeah. Bet. Yeah. See how she be doing me? And then looked at me crazy when I didn't respond. All right, so I don't know. One, I'm gonna go ahead and say no because it's not as good as Pizza Hut. And if you're gonna spend money on pizza, you should go to Pizza Hut.
Well, the funny thing is, when I initially was getting ready for the show and like put this question on the list, I was gonna say yeah, because that was a long time ago, right? That was years ago.
And allegedly Shaq took over and did some stuff.
But literally just a few hours ago, a news story popped up about Papa John.
Oh wow.
So the answer is no. It is not okay to eat Papa John's again.
What happened now?
Papa John's founder says he's been working to get the N-word out of his vocabulary for the last 20 months.
It shouldn't be that hard.
It's not that hard.
So you've been walking around. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
He said people painted him as a racist. Well, if you've been working to get the N-word out of your vocabulary for 20 months, you are racist.
That's precisely what that means.
You are racist. 20 months?
Like if you say something racist once or twice because it slipped, you're not a racist. You said something racist. But if you have to put effort into not saying the N-word, you're a racist. If you're upset that that's not okay and you're looking at everybody crazy like, why is everybody mad that me, a white man, said the N-word? Yeah, you're a racist. That's what that means. That's precisely what that means. Again, if it slipped a time or two here and there and you literally had no ill intent, then nah, you're not a racist. You just let something slip. I'll even give you that just because it matches my previous argument about other stuff. But yeah, if you got to put that much effort into not saying it, like if you can't just like literally just not say the word, then you have a problem.
You do. You
have a problem. So one, Papa John's is not as good as Pizza Hut. I hate Domino's. Now I go to Domino's before I go to Papa John's. And two, the founder is a racist who uses oppressive language.
Yep. So
wonder who he's saying it to and in what context, because it's not okay in any context. But man,
so maybe find like a local pizza place.
Man, find local joints because some local joints be hidden, bro.
Yes. So.
But if it's gotta be like a national chain that delivers, go to Pizza Hut. Yeah. Papa John's is out.
Pizza Hut has the garlic sauce now. That's all I was ever missing.
Oh yeah.
So you don't even need Papa John's anymore. You don't need
Papa John's no more.
So that's gonna
somebody gonna write us and be like, y'all know Pizza Hut did this.
Please don't.
Don't do it. Don't please don't. Because I don't want to have to go to Domino's. I hate Domino's.
No, thank you. Email us at asktrl@gmail.com if you have more questions. And we might.
Or if you want to ruin my pizza place.
No, don't do that.
But don't do it.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this super long show, and we're gonna end it with our love life advice of the week.
You remember Mike's super short show?
I do.
This is Ryan and Tara's super long show.
Yeah. So we always end the show with just a quick tip for your relationship, if you're in one, or your future relationship, if you're still yet waiting on the Lord. So my advice for this week is, definitely tied to the whole Harry and Meg situation. You really gotta leave and cleave.
Yep.
And sometimes that means cutting off your family. Most of the time it doesn't. Most of the time it doesn't mean cutting off your family. That. But it does mean prioritizing your partner. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, it's just you and them. And y'all gotta really be each other's best friends and best cheerleader and best support system and everything else. And you just, I don't know. That's that.
My love life advice would be when your spouse wants to do something, even though you sleep, wake up and do it.
Wow.
Because they will appreciate it. So my eyes been closed like 99% of this time we was recording the show, but I'm here and I did it.
You are here and you did it.
I sound like I'm
what you want, a cookie?
I sound like I'm half asleep. And yes, I do want, bake some cookies. We need to get some cookie dough. We haven't made cookies in forever.
Get cookie dough and I'll make cookies.
Fine, I go get the cookie dough. But yeah, it's just like my wife wanted to record this show today because of the yesterday thing, the Harry and Meghan joint. So I was like, you know what? I'm already tired tomorrow. But whenever you're ready, I will wake up and do the show with you.
That wraps it up. Make sure you are following us at This Is TTRL on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow me at IamTCar on places.
Follow me at THERY_C as in manhole up. It's the Ricey. People still be trying to call my name like Theory C. I'm like, who? Like, no, it's the Ricey. If you look at it on Twitter, it's capitalized so that it makes sense. But Instagram don't let you capitalize the letter. So yeah.
True that.
Follow us. Follow the show. This is TTRL. Tell your friends about it. Tell your mom and them about it, because I think people mamas like us. So
our mamas like us.
Man, my family likes you.
They fight over how much they like us.
My family likes you better. My dad don't even like me. He be asking about you every time I call him.
No.
Yeah, my dad don't like me. My stepdad was about to fight me for not marrying you. He was. My mama, y'all the same person. It's quite scary how the same person y'all are. Your mama bought me something and didn't buy you nothing. Yep. It's funny. So yeah, that's what it should be like.
Yeah.
When you marry somebody. Like, I can't go to Thanksgiving if you don't come. I don't get no food. They might let me in if it's cold outside, but I ain't gonna get to eat if you're not there. So that's how it should be.
Y'all, wash your hands.
Wash your damn hands. You grown. Even if you're not grown, you've at least been to kindergarten where they teach you to wash your hands. Wash your hands.
Have a great week.
Peace.